It's better when I drink.
Did you think that was a good show?
You think it's better.
You guys had a really good job. That was really good.
Welcome back. It's been a while. I don't know when the last time we did this is.
I think it was a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, absolutely unnecessary podcast. What does that say? The show. Jesus Christ. You guys got a whole bunch of dumb shit right out there. Anyway, we're back. We got Lyle Karam in here, the Crusher, straight out of South Africa. Just a giant piece of shit of a human. Just really embodies all of South Africa. Happy to have you here, buddy. And so today's show is going to be focusing around Lyle. Before we get into that shit, though, on a serious note, we still got the Psy t-shirts. You want to take off on that one?
We've actually got a tentative date to bring Psy home start of March. So
Start of March, bless.
Yeah, so we're trying to work towards that. You can still go get behind events. There's going to be an MMA Interclub Day in March and a kickboxing thing and a jiu-jitsu tournament, so a few other things. But you can get all the info at bringpsyhome.com. Buy t-shirts through there or pick them up from Hero Resilience.
What is...
we're actually in very short stock on the t-shirts because...
People been buying them?
And also because the factory we get them made has shut down with the old
coronavirus, right.
So we the resupply, so they're very short.
We can guarantee that your t-shirts will be coronavirus free.
Should be.
Hopefully,
We've had the t-shirts in quarantine for a couple of weeks, so that should be
Have
good.
they seriously been in quarantine?
Oh, well, actually, they're probably more likely to get a virus from my office actually just over there. So it's probably more dangerous here.
I don't know how much people can see of this, but this looks like a professional podcasting studio sort of gig. It's really Simon's dirty laundry bin that we just move everything to the side of.
And seems to get used for
all sorts of
things.
nefarious activities by our sound guys.
Anyway, we're looking at you, George.
Fucking hell. Lyle, what's up, dog? Welcome.
What's up? It's awesome to be here.
So, obviously, Lyle's got his AFC title shot.
Yeah.
Against Themba in March.
Against
14th.
who?
It's Themba, not Themba. You don't pronounce it. It's Themba.
Okay.
We can call him Themba.
Timba.
It's more
It'll
effeminate.
piss him off. Let's just call him Themba. The whole podcast is Themba.
It's more effeminate. Thought it might, So speaking of have we got some videos to show? I think there was some stuff on that got put up today that I don't think Lyle hadn't seen. A nice video that.
So wait, rewind. So rewind. This fight is for the UFC welterweight belt.
Yeah.
How long have you been down there in the UFC fighting for them?
In EFC, I signed with EFC when I was 18 years old. Like
Fucking
fresh out
hell.
of school.
So what? That was like a year ago.
A little more than a year ago. But 2013, I signed with them. I was 18, and then I had my pro debut in 2014.
Are they the only show in South Africa? Like the only
Other organizations pop up and disappear.
There
were a few others, but they usually just pop up, disappear. Some people put some money into it, but EFC is the only really well-run show. It's like UFC production kind of style.
Right.
It's great. Like anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000 people attend the show.
Shit.
It's broadcasted like to millions of homes all over the world, throughout America. It's broadcasted, like you can stream it here for free. It's broadcasted in the UK.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty major
Fight
promo.
TV, like on Fight TV and all those things.
Yeah.
So it's big. It is big, that side. Massive.
It's a pretty impressive looking production.
Yeah, well, I've seen some like just the shit they've put up production-wise. It's like, oh, these dudes are not fucking around. What is it? So before we get into these videos and shit, like, what was it like fucking signing at 17? That's so young, dude.
17. Yeah, it was weird as well. I don't know. It was shit. When I signed them, I got into it a lot quicker than I thought I was going to. I was only been doing MMA for about a year or so when I signed. I started MMA when I was like 16, 17 years old. I had a few like real dodgy amateur fights.
So, and we're talking dodgy for South Africa.
Let's have a look. We've got a fight here. Let's play this.
Lyle's wearing a rugby scrum cap.
So I've not seen
and some socks.
Yeah. Shin guards.
That cage looks like it's about 3 meters wide.
That is one of those. You know what? Those small cages like that are on all these bar shows. They're so great though because guys have to fucking get in and fight. There's no running away.
Yeah, except if you want to push someone against the fence.
Yeah.
If you can't cage grapple.
So where was this at, Lyle? Do you remember this fight?
This is in some real backwards area in South Africa. I can't even remember. It took us like 2 hours to get there. It was just.
It looks like
one
it's
of the.
in a
There was like no
gymnasium.
one in the town at all. Yeah, it was called Primrose, an area called Primrose. Horrible area.
It looks like it's in a elementary school.
Some like weird pavilion.
Gymnasium.
Some weird pavilion. Yeah. I remember we're warming.
Look at you looking all athletic and shit, bouncing around with your rugby screen.
Look at the other guy. He just looks hands at his waist.
Look at
Oh, man.
Oh, the kick. Oh, Lyle. Lyle is demolishing some old man that they found on the side of the road right now.
He tripped trying to kick me there.
Sidekick.
Why are you hitting him with so much hatred, Lyle? So, this guy, do you remember this guy?
Yeah. His mom was sitting next to my family. And she was so upset as well. Like, afterwards, I just remember how the whole family was disappointed and crying and holding him after the fight. And, you know, I felt like I won the UFC title. I was like jumping up and down, like, yeah, you know, I've done it, you know? I think his name was Vicus. Vicus, yeah.
Look at this.
Bro, that was just a
Jesus.
manhandle.
And his
Lyle is absolutely just manhandling.
It's
this
on
guy.
YouTube. You can go watch it for your own entertainment.
Is that an 8 count?
What is that?
What the fuck just happened?
I think yeah.
He just stopped?
That was TKO. And then because there was no one, because I was like 17 years old, so they tried to make us all fight. Like, if you're under 18, you fight people your own age, right? Yeah. So
look at this.
the problem is
Is that your brother?
No, that's actually, his name's Adam Speechley. He was an UFC champion as well. Coolest guy ever. He's now a physiotherapist. He's backwards. He just climbs trees all day. That's all he does.
God, Africa's a weird
Great
place.
guy. I'm trying to get him to come over here. Like, coolest guy.
But we've got a lot of big trees here.
Yeah. He's a bit backwards. But anyway, so in that circuit in South Africa, there weren't a lot of guys my age, my weight.
Right.
Because I walked around at 17 years old, I walked around at like 95 kilograms.
He's a big boy.
So that was the only guy in the whole of Johannesburg or in the whole of Gauteng, my state, that was my weight and did MMA. So I actually fought him twice. The other fight's on YouTube, and I think that one I beat him in 20 seconds. Like, I slam him and then I key lock him.
Yeah.
And then like a month later, they're like, "You're fighting again." Like, who am I fighting? Like, same guy.
Shit.
Cool.
What? Why? There was nothing in any of the fights that I saw that said a rematch was in order.
Yeah, right. In that fight, nothing deserved a rematch.
Yeah, that's a strange choice.
So before we go rocking on, like, we didn't really do any proper like introing you into this because we're terrible at podcasting sometimes. Can we pop up Lyle's last victory on EFC? So this is your last fight you had.
No, this is my second pro fight.
Oh jeez,
I'm 19 years old. Yeah.
God.
You can tell I got a mohawk.
It's that typical MMA fucking.
his actual last fight was back in Australia here on AFC.
That's right.
yeah,
That's right. This was the last one you had in South Africa, though, right?
No.
Look at the strut on this guy.
This is 2000 and this is long ago.
Oh, that's
man.
actually that's the same. That face you put at the end of that video is the same face on the poster. Just let me know. Is that you pull that face after every?
That was the same. No, that was that fight. That was taken from that
fair
fight.
enough.
Yeah. So that fight that's my second pro fight. That was long ago.
So when did you? So you turned pro at 17, and then you had your second pro fight. That you looked much older in that.
Right,
video.
I think 18 turned pro.
It says right here, turning pro at a young age, 17.
I signed my contract with them when I was still in matric.
But you had
When I
your
was still in
first
high
fight
school.
at
When I was still in
18.
high school. But then I had my first pro fight
gotcha.
the next year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my first pro fight was against some other guy making his debut, and that was actually my second pro fight. And the guy I was fighting his name was Marcel Tiniers. Apparently, all he used to do was just like hit rave parties in Cape Town and then rock up to the gym, like just rock up to the gym after like a rave party at like 8 in the morning.
Off his fucking head.
It's like on, ready to go. Like, all right, let's punch up, and then.
You like that guy, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a man after my own heart.
I got a great story about that guy. So he had this coach named Quinton Chong, and Quinton Chong fought what's that Muay Thai fighter that everyone loves, Bakau.
Bukau.
Yeah, he fought Bakau in Cape Town in some like organized fight. He wore like long pants and MMA gloves, while Bakau was wearing like
traditional
normal
tie,
tie shorts and tie outfit. It was the weirdest fight you've ever seen. Bakau's beating the fuck out of him, and he pretty much quit mid-fight. And when he quit, they called it a draw. And this coach genuinely trained Randy Couture. Like, you can go back and check him at the UFC with Randy Couture in Randy Couture's corner. It's weird as fuck. Anyway, so I'm fighting Marcel Tiniers, and I'm at the weigh-ins, and I meet this coach, and I walk up to them and be respectful, and I go shake his hand. Like, it's a pleasure to meet. I didn't know he was bullshit at this stage. Like, I was like, I'm fighting Quinton Chong student. Like, this guy trained Randy Couture. So I go up to this guy to greet him, and I'm like, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. And he starts speaking, I don't know what, like Chinese or something to me, but like, no English. And then just speaks Chinese to me and kind of waves me off. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy must not speak English, Lyle. You look like an idiot now. Like, you try to have a conversation with this guy in front of everyone. He doesn't speak English. You just look like, oh, whatever, Lyle. Just go sit down somewhere, sign in or whatever.
Yeah.
And literally, as I walk away from him, my teammate Leon Maynard walks up to him. He's like, Quinton, long time no see. And Quinton's like, oh, Leon, yes, it's very good to see you. How are you doing? I'm like, this motherfucker. Like, I was trying to speak to this guy. He just waved me off. No English. No. And then, waved me off in Chinese and just sent me on my way.
Is he an Asian dude or was he just...
Yeah, Asian guy.
Because I was very confused with Quinton Chong.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
I can't place that ethnicity at all.
Quinton's is Cape Town side and Chong's is Asian side.
Oh, man. All right. So, look, you got coming up. We got the title fight going down in South Africa. You just came off a big win up here for the AFC.
Yes.
You finished the shit out of that dude in the third round. I was there for that one. That was exciting. That was a great fight. So, hypothetically, you go win this belt down in South Africa. Do you come back and try to maybe get the AFC and consolidate both, or is it on to bigger and better things post-haste?
I don't really know. I have no idea.
Depends on where the money's at, right?
I don't know. For me, I just want to have a fight, have some fun. That's
Right.
cool. If something big comes up, then cool, we'll take that. If not, then I'm very happy to go fight AFC. Like, I had a good time there.
It was a good time, yeah. It was a good.
I do want to fight a bit more here in Australia, though. I had so much fun fighting here.
Yeah.
It was nice. I wasn't a big fan of traveling back to South Africa for the last fight. It was a bit hard.
That's got to be such a pain in the ass, bro. Like, I know how it is just going to Japan, but that's at least the same time.
Yeah,
It's
roughly the same time.
Roughly, it's like an hour difference. I can't imagine. I did it twice to go back to the States to fight from Thailand to New York, and that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I feel like from Melbourne to South Africa, there's not a bigger difference that you can get.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's 9 hours time difference.
How do you fucking deal with that shit going back and forth, like just with your weight cut and all that type
Well,
of shit?
I only had the one fight there, and I've only fought there once since I've
you've
been in
been living
Australia. My first 4 fights at UFC, I was living there.
Right.
So I was living in South Africa. When I fought back there on my 5th pro fight, I was already living here. I was ready with Absolute. It was last year, August. And it was just like, it couldn't go any more wrong than it went with that fight.
You had 7 opponents or something.
I had, it was like 7 or 8 opponents. My weight category changed like 4 or 5 times.
I remember that. That's right. They changed you from middle back to welter to middle
to
and then 88 kilos in the
I got on the flight expecting to fight a guy named Bruno at catch weight of 80 kilograms. I land there to a message saying Bruno's out, but we got this guy Stefan Pretorius fighting, and he can only make 88.
It's an 8 kilo jump.
Yeah, so I was like, cool, that's all right. Whatever.
Lyle proceeded to miss weight for this fight.
No. This fight, technically, because it was catch weight fight, I woke up the morning of weigh-ins 83 kilos.
Yeah.
And so I weighed in 83 point something. He weighed in 88. But the morning of weigh-ins, I remember waking up at like 2 a.m., like just exhausted. Like I could hear a noise coming from the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom and I see blood everywhere. And I was like, oh, seriously, like the morning of my weigh-ins, just blood all over the bathroom. And there's my brother standing over the base and like wiping blood out of his eyes. I'm like, what happened? And my friend Royce is attending to him, like, nah, he hit someone. And then when he hit, because he was like blacked out drunk.
Right.
And he hit someone at some nightclub and he hit them. And when he hit them, he fell over and he went face first into the curb and like full on shattered his orbital bone. And then
I never knew about this though.
yeah, you were pretty stressed as it wasn't ready.
I was in hospital getting
someone doesn't need to know this. Like, it's cool.
Know these things.
So like my brother, then from like 2 a.m. till whenever it was time to go to weigh-ins, I remember just sitting there, just like watching him to make sure he carried on breathing when he was asleep, like because he did not want to go to hospital. So I'm just sitting there looking at him. And he's like, no, I'm cool. Go to bed. You know, you got weigh-ins in the morning. I'm like, I can't sleep. Like,
and it's not. It's past the morning. It's noon now.
yeah. So I weighed in, and then I came back home after weighing in, and then I just spent the rest of that day just chilling with him. Like, this guy, right? Like, is he gonna like? And he didn't want to say anything. Like, he was, I think he was a bit like he was just so out of it. He was just like, he was just laid on the couch trying to sleep. Sounded like a bulldog trying to like sleep. Like, his nose was so messed up, and I'm like. And 1, he was meant to corner me, and then 2, he looks like he's not even going to make it to the next day. I'm like, this is not good.
This is all going great.
You know when you started to say, I heard noises from the bathroom and there was blood on the floor, I thought it was, and you were fighting Pretorius, right? So I was going somewhere totally different with what you're going to say next.
We're talking old Oscar Pretorius?
Yeah. That's who I was thinking. I heard a noise in the bathroom.
Poor little ting-ting going to take some gunshots at you.
Oh, that's horrible. Actually, I saw a meme the other day. It's like horrible story that Oscar Pistorius and Reva thing, but I saw a meme the other day. It was like it was on Valentine's Day, and it was like 7 years ago today. Oscar was polishing his gun. Wow.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious, bro. So like, we talked a little bit about that like trip going back. How did you end up getting out here to Melbourne and shit in the first place from South Africa? Because it is.
Playing, I think.
Well, no shit. It is. But I'm saying like it's a massive fucking difference from Africa to Melbourne.
South Africans like coming here, actually. Like, there's actually a massive South African community in like Brisbane and
Is
Perth,
there?
and yeah, they love it here. But
Why?
I don't know. I think it's
kidding. Australia's
like
awesome,
the
guys.
closest. It's the closest.
Africa, you're a lot less likely to get shot.
South Africa.
Yeah.
Sorry, Australia is the closest thing to home without crime. It's like, where can we go that's exactly like home, just like no crime?
Right. How old were
Australia's
you when you
the
came out here?
I was 21 years old.
21.
So me and my brother were just like, I don't know. I was actually meant to fight Temba when I was 21. I was meant to fight him.
That's
and
the
then,
guy you're fighting next.
Yeah, I was actually, so gone full circle. I was meant to fight him, and I got injured in the fight camp, and so did he. Like, he got his teeth knocked out or something like that, apparently.
because Africa, bro.
Yeah. And I injured my shoulder and my ribs, and then I remember I was chilling on the couch one day with my dad, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm going to go see Australia. Like, he had a mate up this side, and he was like, look, if you guys ever want to go to Australia, we can make something happen. And I was like, yeah, cool. Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
So came over here. I came over here with a messed up shoulder, messed up ribs. Like, I didn't train for a long time when I was here initially. And then I originally moved to Sydney, and then I came over here and just kind of get my bearings for a bit. Eventually, I found a gym, started training a bit. I wanted to get back into fighting. I wanted to get into the local scene here.
Right.
My contract had ended with the UFC, so I was done with them. And I was trying to get onto the local scene here. I got a fight with Hex, and then in that fight camp, my dad ended up passing away. So that fight never happened, and then I took like another year off after that.
Yeah.
So I took the first like year and a half off initially because of the injury and
Right.
just moving the side. And then after my dad passed, it took like another year. And then I decided, yeah, now I'm gonna have a crack at it. So then that's when I came to Absolute, actually.
Yeah. It was
So I
after.
decided like, okay, cool, I'm gonna have a crack at it.
Ready to
You know,
get
I'm
back
ready to
into
get
it
back
again.
in there. You know, I need to find some gyms with people more or less my size. So yeah, came across Absolute, and then that's when. Then I actually ended up just re-signing with the UFC.
Just recently, yeah?
Yeah, because I've always been chatting with the guys and stuff from that side, and I've always kept up with what's going on there in the local circuits, and a lot of my friends still compete there. A lot of my old teammates are still competing there, so I was just like always keeping track of the circuit, and then it's a big production. I wasn't sure if I can get a fight this side because I didn't really know anyone.
Right.
So I actually went and got that fight myself because they offered it to me, and I was like, cool, might as well take it.
Yeah, right. I feel like it is a bit difficult out here for guys that aren't Australian to get fights. If you're, I don't know, maybe you.
I think as soon as we start getting a match, we could get him.
I think now that I
Now
had
you're
the
established.
fight with AFC.
Yeah.
I've had because also when I started trying to look for fights, I hadn't fought in like 2.5 years. So they're like, why is this guy hasn't fought?
Right.
And then obviously if you look at my typology, there were like 2 or 3 fights that never happened. So like there's like 2 or 3 fights that never happened.
Yeah.
Which was like the fight where Temba broke, like his teeth got messed up and my ribs got messed up. So like that fight never happened and got cancelled. Then there's a fight where my dad passed that got cancelled.
Yeah, so it's
so
got
all you
those
see on
2
my
cancels
typology
on.
was like cancels and then like 2 years. You're like, oh, is this guy for real?
Yeah.
So then when I came to the side, obviously after having the AFC fights, I think from now on it'll be a lot easier to get fights to the side.
Yeah. So so you got this guy Temba coming up. Is that saying that right? Temba? Timber?
Themba.
Got old Themba coming up. What are your thoughts on this cat? What's his deal? He put up some shit on Twitter recently, and it's pretty funny. I'll give it a read here. He said, should I do it in the accent or should I not?
No, don't.
Maybe don't do a racist accent. It said, I am ready to light up Midland, Maine in Pretoria. I will win via knockout. I will knock my opponent out with my right leg. He can be aware of it, and it is going to happen. You heard it here from me. Hashtag Mamba mentality. Hashtag and still. And then he's got up some video right here. He's singing to Lyle. For those of you sitting in a
First of
car
all, it looks like
singing.
he's missing all the lyrics.
He is, right? This boy's got the CTE, man.
Yeah.
He's skinny, bro.
He's trying too hard.
Yeah.
He really is.
What are your thoughts on the fight? What do you think about this cat?
I don't, like him personally.
No,
I
I
used
mean,
to think he was a cool dude, and now I just think he's a bit backwards. On the fight, I don't know. I think I'm gonna win this fight 100% easy. Like, I'm not too stressed about him. Like, he's an alright grappler, but
Right.
I don't think he'll be able to out-grapple me. He claims he's gonna head kick me, but like he's never finished. I think he's finished one fight by strikes.
Yeah,
That was his
so-
last fight. Like, he's never ever beaten anyone with anything other than like guillotines or
Right.
Yeah, he's never really fought. He had a bash at my record the other day saying that I fought nobody. And then you look at his record and he's fighting guys named Chimmy Van Winkle, who's like 1-3 or... It's not really...
I'm sorry, dude. South Africa has the greatest names for people on the planet.
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah,
No,
I've watched that fight. Like,
Jimmy Van Winkle.
yeah.
His name and fighting style is exactly I don't know. I think it's gonna be a fun fight. I'm actually looking forward to it. Like I feel good everywhere in this fight.
Yeah, man. Fuck, that's great, bro. You've been looking really good in camp. So like, when we go out and you win this fight out here, what is it? What does that do? Is it a big deal for you to be the South African? Basically, if you're the UFC champ, you're not just South African champ. You're basically the African champ because there's no real other big promotions out there.
Is that weird one up in North?
Yeah, there's the Aries or whatever up there. Yeah,
Did you see that one?
But I have no part in that
with
though.
Rang and all that shit.
Yeah, and then who they put out as the greatest MMA athlete in the world after like 2 fights. That's what they were hashtagging him as. But
I'm trying to get him over to Ryzen. Give me that
But
man.
they had to stop the fight because it was outdoors and the humidity. It was the cage became a slip and slide, and then they actually like mid card went,
Nah.
we're done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
too
done.
slippery. The referees wouldn't continue. You saw the promoter going, no. But people
just
were like,
do it.
yeah.
But like,
this is indoors, right?
This is 100% indoors. Yeah.
I saw a video of a promotion in Africa. This would have been a couple of years back. It was called shock fighting, where these guys had tasers taped to their hands, taped to their boxing gloves. It was full MMA rules, but with tasers attached. So you are about to be the king shit of all of that. What does that mean as a young 24-year-old man to be the king of Africa?
I think it's exciting for me because I got into MMA. My dad took me to a show.
Yeah.
An EFC show. It was like EFC 4.
Yeah.
And I loved it from the second I got there. It was just like carnage when I got there. Like, just random four-ways guys fighting outside. So like four-ways is an area in South Africa, but like it's just like full of like just like
My head's in a completely different area.
It's full of guys who just wear tap-out shirts
Sweet.
and just complete meatheads. Those guys who are like, I would have just knocked him out.
Yeah.
Why
didn't you just knock him out?
Yeah, it's like, why don't you just knock him out? Like it's full of guys like that. So
Why don't they just stand up?
I went to go watch EFC 4 in four-ways in South Africa with my dad, and there's like street fights happening outside. You guys, like people are fighting in the crowds. There's a fight in the cage. There's just fights everywhere. I was just like, I loved it, man. For me, it was great. I was like, I was like, I gotta do this.
Oh, that's crazy.
My dad loved it as well. My dad.
So your dad got you into the whole scene, yeah?
Oh, my dad boxed. My dad did judo. My dad was just a wildcat as well.
That's awesome.
My dad was.
Told me some stories. That sounds like we'd get along.
Crazy, my dad. I want to tell you this one story. When that second fight that I showed you when I fought that Marcel is that raver guy.
Yeah.
So I fought that guy, and then I went to the back, went to the medical, went to go shower, and then I came out. It's my second pro fight, and I'm pumped to just like party.
Yeah.
And I get to the bar, and my dad is like blind drunk. My dad is blind drunk, and he's just causing trouble at the bar. And he was a solid dude. He was a unit.
Yeah.
And like he's not the kind of hands like a fucking bear. Like he's not the kind of guy you want to mess with. And I end up having to drive him home from my fight while he's blind drunk in the passenger seat, and I'm the one who just fought, and I'm being the responsible one driving him home, like not having it on. And while I'm driving him home, he's sitting in the car, and I think he was a bit upset with me that I forced him into the car and told him, no more partying, we're gonna go home for the night. And he was a bit bleak with me, so I'm driving him home, and he goes to me, he's like, you didn't look good tonight. I'm like, all right, no, that's cool, Dad, thanks. And he's like, you look slow and sloppy, and I'm like, thanks, Dad, let's just get you home and get you to bed. And he's like, I reckon you could have done that in the first round. I don't know what's happened to you. You've gone back. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm just like, fuck this guy, man. You're such a dick, man. And that was him all the time, though. But like, because he was always been such a dick to me like that. Like, I was always just like, oh, I got to get better. Like, I got to prove it to him. And then like, again, like, that's why I said like winning the title again. It's like something I've wanted to do since I first went to go watch UFC. I was like, shit, oh yeah, I want to fight at that place. And I want to fight like where those guys are fighting. I want to win the belt those guys are fighting for.
Yeah.
So winning the belt for me was always like a big thing I wanted to do.
Because AFC's up. This is like AFC 84 or something, 85 or something.
84, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I didn't realize they've been around that long.
Yeah, so there wouldn't be too many shows around the world that have put 85,
85 shows like together as the same promotion.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
So that's actually a pretty good feat in itself.
Yeah, no, they're growing. They're pretty big, and they're trying to put on like super fights as well now and stuff, and they bring in a lot of internationals as well. Like a lot of, I think quite a few of the champions are from overseas, and every single fight card there's guys from either like America, Brazil, UK.
And obviously Simon now going and signing with Rise.
Well, yeah, they're the EFC champ is right in the former UFC champ's right in my fucking sidelines.
No, he's still the UFC champ.
Is he still?
He's still the UFC champ. Yeah.
They haven't stripped him of it.
No, I saw him personally the other day trying to get a fight there.
Oh, really? So I wonder what his deal is then.
No, because he posts.
Have an Asia exclusive.
Yeah.
No, he posts photos of himself like training, and then because I follow him, he posts and then he tagged Ryzen and then the Ryzen matchmaker, EFC, and then the EFC matchmaker. So obviously it's just like hit me up, whoever.
Yeah. Whoever hits me up first, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so first come, first serve.
You should probably stay in the EFC because I'll smash your face, Simon Buyang.
Yeah. I love EFC, but our light heavyweight champ will totally get smashed if he goes
So you caught up with George Masvidal. Was it last week or the week before?
It was this weekend. Last week, yeah.
This week.
How is Georgie, bro?
He's the coolest guy ever. He was the coolest guy. I spent some time with him. He's the coolest dude. We spoke about South Africa a little bit. Spoke about you. He was so content in getting me to get you out of there.
Yeah.
He's like, he walked up to me later on in the night as well. He's like, yo, where's Jake? I'm like, he's not coming. It's like, get Jake out of here. No, he's cool.
I had a flight to catch, man.
Yeah. No, he was a cool guy. You know, he got me so pumped up as well. He's like, you go get that belt. You go get that belt. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get that belt. George Masvidal just told me to go get that belt. I'm getting the belt.
Georgie's good people, man.
Nah,
he's
he's a solid guy.
Solid. So what did he get? He gave you some advice along the way too. I heard he gave you a little. Was it just to go get the?
No, it was just like, don't be a punk. Go get that guy. Like,
okay.
That's all the advice you need, though. That's all the advice you need.
That's the most George advice ever, though. Yo, don't be a punk, dog.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I get
that
what you're
resonates
saying.
with me. I understand completely exactly what you're trying to tell me to do.
Love it. So did you guys watch the garbage fire that was the UFC this week?
It's a bit rough. Well, yeah, I think we're going to go. So we were going to do that new segment, Bro Science of the Week, but we're doing that now as part of the UFC review because we believe there may have been a little bit of Bro Science in Diego Sanchez's preparation for this fight.
Seriously, what the fuck is Diego Sanchez thinking? This guy's been in the game they said on the broadcast, he's been in the UFC for 15 years almost. So that you would think the dude knows, hey, this is gonna work, or hey, this is some fucking bullshit. This dude's selling me snake oil.
Let's have a look at some of the tape of the training that he's been doing with his new coach. So what's his coach's name?
It's
Joshua.
What's that? Joshua Fabia. So this guy, his claim to fame is as a 9-year-old, he healed his grandfather who had some massive brain injury by chakras and emotions.
Oh my god! And if you guys are only listening to this podcast, I highly recommend that you watch the video version because this dude is selling absolute dog shit.
Oh, actually, and I'll tell you what, what we need to do in terms of the bro science, because this is the best bro science intro, is can we put on the Diego Sanchez's review of the fight with Mickey Gall about how, and if we can play that with some volume, because that was the funniest shit.
This is Diego Sanchez breaking down his victory over Mickey Gall.
Yeah.
Took his virginity in a dirty Sanchez kind of way. You know, I give him about 5 good knees to the anus. Affected the hemorrhoidal system. Hemorrhoidal. Part of why he had kidney failure in the fight, because all the blood was down there in the lower region of his body, and them kidneys were just sucking for that blood. And then I got hit him in the liver a couple times, you know, then some little blood there to go to the liver, you know, hit him right in that, right in the solar plexus chakra.
Bam, the chakra.
Shut that shit down.
Well, I'll be surprised if we see him back ever again in the same fashion when he was on the rise, because I took that rise and now I'm on the rise.
All right, guys. So all bullshit aside, Diego Sanchez is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think everyone's going CT, and I think there's a great possibility of that. But he was a weirdo, right? Going back to on tough.
Yeah,
He
I
was a
think
weirdo.
he's just fucking.
But now he seems to have
batshit.
find like this
seems to
Joshua Fabio or whatever his
Yeah.
name is. It's like because he trains like some militia
So
cults and then
this guy Diego seems to have found his equal in crazy.
he's like spirit animal.
He's fucking Conor McGregor had his nerd in the park. This guy's taking it to a whole nother fucking level.
But at least Edor Portal, I think there's a lot of shit, but at least he didn't claim to be the martial arts side. It was just the movement and body stuff. Whereas this guy's
this dude right now he's training a militia in Ecuador. No, not even a militia. I'm sorry. It's Ecuador's SF, isn't it?
Apparently, it's the special forces
Of
in
Ecuador, which these guys would be involved in shit.
Yeah.
They're doing things.
Having actually done like that,
Yeah.
I'm combat in the special. We did not do this stuff.
So Simon, like, what do you think about what he's teaching these guys here? What is the tactical relevance?
Yeah, I'm not. I cannot see it.
Look, if somebody grabs your arm, all you got to do just pop that shit out, spin around,
Do it back to them.
do it back to them.
The knife defense fight.
God.
If you're listening, try and watch this.
Yeah,
shit.
you guys got to pull this out if you're just listening.
Oh, and so this is one of his other key things. What is it? If
Yeah.
you're hitting someone, if you're hitting with love in your
Yep,
heart, then it doesn't hurt them.
His
But
whole
if you
his
hit
whole
with
thought
hate-
is your strikes
Transfer,
are transferred off of your mood. So if I hit you with love, I'm not going to feel it. But if I hit you with hate in my heart, then I'm going to feel it. So the key is to hit him with love.
No, I thought.
Or is it the
especially
it's the
hit
other
with
way
love or
around.
hate? I don't know.
I don't think he knows, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, the fact is that this dude's absolutely batshit. But Diego Sanchez, who's still trying to fight at a high level in the UFC, is using this guy as his only corner man, as his only coach. And it's just, I mean, I
Have you
feel
seen
like...
the shit? Yeah, Jon Jones and him going back and forth. And
No,
all.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
no,
this.
there's actually, I don't know if we've got any of that sort of stuff, but that was some
Oh,
gold. Like,
Jesus, there we go.
Wow.
yeah, I think
What?
that's Jon Jones saying you've taken too many shrooms, they're fucking your head, you found a fraud and all
Yeah.
that. And then
So
Sanchez basically trying to say, it's okay, open up your heart, come across.
So is that what's going down? Is that what everybody's reckoning? And then Diego's just fried his brain on the old psychedelic warrior trips.
It's hard to know where it went. Like, as I say, like he was
always a fucking
he hasn't
nutcase.
been well since the
But, like,
beginning.
look at the movement that this guy's teaching right now. Like, that is absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Anybody who throws a straight punch at you is going to fucking destroy you. And like the problem with it is that the guy Diego fought this weekend didn't throw a single fucking straight punch. He was too busy doing fucking backflips and all this other bullshit. Like,
I mean, he obviously
he
was
effective.
fucking him up.
he was fucking him up. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if he'd have just sat down on a fucking punch as opposed to trying to fucking dance at him and shit, probably would have ended
Yeah,
the
he
fight.
could have finished the fight heaps of times.
And going off of that,
I mean, it was a clear illegal.
yeah. So Diego actually won the fight via a illegal knee, which is a stupid rule to begin with. I should be able to knee you at all times. Just Jake's humble opinion. But that being said, and then Diego goes and he says to the ref, they're giving him Herzog, the ref is giving him all the time in the world, saying, "Look, you got hit by an illegal knee. Can you continue?" And all fighters know. Well, as soon as the doctors say anything like, "What if they say, can you see?" What do you say every time?
Yes.
Yes, I can fucking see, whether or not you can see, because as soon as you say that, you're fucking out. So they were trying to give him every in to go to it, and like Diego was asking the ref, he's like, "Can I talk to my coach?
Yeah.
Can I do all this stuff?" I don't know if he was just trying to if he was trying to figure out if he was going to win or what it was.
Yeah.
And now Simon said to me earlier, he goes, as a coach, you're like, fucking take the win, take the
Yeah.
goddamn win. But like,
I understand the stigma. So I think it's like, like maybe an accidental eye poke or whatever else. Can you you continue? But if you've been genuinely rocked, where you're like, so think of this as, especially this guy's got enough brain injury, I think anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you've
yeah.
actually basically just been concussed.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
you really be stood up, allowed 5 minutes recover to get beaten shitless and lose? Like,
Yeah,
that
that's-
100% that was going to happen.
that's
to
Lithway.
Diego.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's Lithway rules, 100%.
So I am like, okay, you've been hit illegally. You are actually rocked. You now are at a disadvantage.
yeah.
It's not like you're just trying to get.
It's not like you're just trying to get the win, but
Look, I think take that. If you've been cut and you got blood in your eyes from an illegal shot, I'm sort of for taking, especially I don't know, So what happens? He stands up, gets knocked out, or the guy smashes him up for the rest of the round,
and then he loses the fight, and he was going to
And
lose.
then what? And then you're going to get cut.
Cut from the promotion.
And I think as a coach, it would be your job to go.
Yeah, to tell him.
Nah, bro. You're done. You've actually been rocked. Take the win.
I
Come
mean,
back. It's not how you go out to win a fight.
no, you don't go into it with that idea. But I get what you're saying. Like that was the only way Diego was going to win that fight.
Yeah.
He was fucking not in it ever.
Yeah.
What was that motion he was doing? Did you see the kung fu goddamn? where he was putting his hands up and fucking. Did you watch the fight? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Look, so he's literally his idea of motion in this fight is standing up and going, dropping hand to hand like straight kung fuing, and then the goddamn the coach is saying, close the distance, close the distance, close the distance. And his idea of closing the distance is putting his hands down like an angry autistic toddler and running dead at the guy. But unfortunately, the guy didn't know what the fuck he was. Look, he's drilling the shit right here. Oh, it was just such a fucking garbage fire of a fight. I don't understand it.
He said something like, it's like, move less, but move more.
Yeah, he goes, all right, I need you to move more, but move less. Remember the shadows. Play to the shadows. And it's like, what sort of fucking acid trip of training are y'all doing?
The other thing is, like, Diego Sanchez had legit good jiu-jitsu. Like,
Yeah, and he was a great wrestler, too.
Yeah.
Like, for MMA wrestling, his shit was good.
But he's tried to be a striker for a long time.
I think a lot of guys get caught up in that where they, they have a little success striking, or they realize that that's what kind of puts butts in the seats.
Yeah.
And they get caught up in wanting to
And
be
mix it in, but don't go totally away from
And
it.
who manages him? Does he manage himself? Or?
I would
Probably-
imagine.
Probably.
Sure, yeah, you'd have to, because like any manager would be like, all right, yeah, you're mixing up with some weird creeps. No,
Yeah,
like, just stick with Jackson. Just stick with Jackson. You don't need this.
You're
this
getting around with
creepy
some
guy.
real weirdos. I guess they there's some went down there at Jacksonville where I don't think they were gonna fuck with him anymore. I think they were gonna get rid of him because he was basically nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we got a whole big thing right here. I'm not gonna sit here and read it, but they
If you want to have a look at, there's some interesting stuff
there's some
back and
interesting
forth.
stuff online.
We'll put it up on the video
on the
version
thing.
of the podcast.
But I mean, like where Diego, like all I'm reading at the end of this is he's saying lean into the light. Like, yeah, it's fucking wild cases. And like you read into it, and it's like they, Greg never believed in me enough to put the time and energy into training me into be a winner. It's like, yeah, you were there for 15 years, bro. Like I feel like he probably put a little bit of time into you. Yeah. Then you realize you're a goddamn lunatic, which happens. But anyway, on top of that fight, that was the garbage fire. There actually was an excellent KO in the main event of that fight. Jan Blachowicz and Corey Anderson. Thanks, boys. Corey was out here talking a heap of shit and just got hit with the Polish overhand to death. I have rated Jan since he was in Superior Challenge. I thought he was a really good guy. I've always thought he was a pretty I always thought he was going to be a guy that would come into the UFC and make some waves. I found it extremely cringy what the Jon Jones call out at the end, the way that looks like the most pre-orchestrated. You are next, like.
And John was like, I think this is like, I'd rather that than the Dom Reyes match.
I do, and I think you just hit the nail on the head. I reckon John is seeing this as a better fight for him than the Dom Reyes fight, because this probably does better pay-per-view buys, which is where John's going to be pulling a majority of his cash. Yeah. I don't think the Reyes fight sells as well, even though Reyes had a great fight against him. Just something about it doesn't fucking really bite.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind seeing that fight.
I would love to see, but we love fights. I'm talking about your regular fucking dipshit in a bar buying a pay-per-view.
I suppose that Reyes fight also ended kind of anticlimactically.
Yeah,
like,
it
with
did.
The decision and stuff.
Two rounds.
It kind of just put you off, and then this is a new fight. This Jan's been looking good. Like when he knocked out Luke Rockhold.
Yeah,
he's an exciting guy to watch.
Bro, that hook he hit Rockhold with, he put him into
that broke my heart because I'm a big Luke Rockhold fan.
Yeah, you are.
Luke Rockhold sat up like he looked like the Undertaker when he sat up in that punch. Like he was out of it.
Who do you So if you guys are being Mick Maynard right now, Sean Shelby, who are you putting up against Jones next?
Well, I think it's
got to be Jan, yeah.
It's Jan, but then. Thiago Santos is owed a rematch because of the whole knee thing. Yeah, but I mean, like, John's going to be busy for the next while because this Thiago is going to be coming back for him when his knees are
unpopular
fixed.
opinion.
Then you got Reyes. Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. Rumble. Rumble's coming back. Make the immediate matchup.
He's coming back at heavyweights.
Shit. I'm here for the violence.
He was 300 pounds when he fought like I shouldn't say fight, but grapple with Craig.
Yeah. He's trimming down.
He's got a long way to come.
He's got a long way to come down. Do you reckon Jan gives if Jan's your pick, do you reckon he gives Jones a run?
Yeah, but what? Jones. I think they'll give him a
Rumble's
good fight,
down to 230. Is that what you just wrote?
What? See, I told you he's ready, bro.
Yeah.
Ready. Do you reckon him or Jan? Do you reckon anybody Fuck that. We'll open it up. Does anybody give Jones a run right now, or is he just so fucking...
I don't know. Well, I think... I've noticed that Jones lately has been playing it so safe when he fought. Like, he was...
so boring. He's Holly Holm.
He was insane. Like, watching him back in the day, he used to just take risks and just do
Yeah.
like crazy shit.
Like
and that's why he beat
and
everyone.
like, even Matt Hamill.
The Machida fight, fucking...
Stephen Bonner.
Yeah, bro.
When he fought for the title, when he fought Shogun for the title,
Jumping out with the...
he ran with the flying knee. Like, that's how he started the fight with the flying knee.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when he was at his best, I reckon.
his
Was
dick
when
on
he was
the
just
table.
being
Speaking of
creative
good
and
at
he was just
memes
having
and who
fun.
gets the rematch. Did you see that one with Matt Hamill? No. Matt Hamill's like, I'm the real champ. I ain't hearing him calling for a rematch.
Yeah.
I was like,
Matt Hamill's never heard shit.
I was like, fuck.
Hey, if we're doing fucking MMA math, Matt Hamill is the lineal light heavyweight
Yeah. So fuck.
God bless him. I can just hear the crowd screaming.
And it's actually like,
But he can't.
come to think of it, like, you know, because obviously they. Because I'm actually now going back to that fight, and then like, you know, when it's like when he gets the illegal shots, and like, the referee be going, "Do you want to continue?"
Yeah. You're the
Like,
champ.
So like, yeah, I don't know, like,
Jesus
I don't remember like anyone signing to say,
He might not have heard it.
yeah, because he would have like, "Do you want to continue?" And he's like, "Oh, he ain't saying shit back to me."
Yeah,
So.
fuck. And you know,
Anyway.
I mean, you know, you gotta, all hats off to Matt Hamill. According to Tito Ortiz, he's got a bad equilibrium from being deaf.
Oh, like balance wise. Yeah.
Tito hit us with some serious bro science on what the deaf folks, on how their brains are softer and all these. Yeah, Tito did just some phenomenal interviews on it. Shout out Tito Ortiz, you're a genius.
Yeah.
Oh, God, the UFC fucking ruins my life sometimes. I can't deal with this shit.
Let's look forward to this weekend's card. So we've got
The
NZ.
the New Zealand card.
So where should we start? So we'll start from the bottom.
Bottom to top, top to bottom.
Go from the bottom
This
up.
weekend, it's
Yeah,
the 7th.
let's
Twen-
start.
no, bro,
so
it's the
let's start
22nd.
from here. Let's start from Kaya. So I think there.
Yeah,
so
it's the
obviously,
22nd.
so we got Kaya as sort of a fairly heavy favorite.
Kai Kara, France, straight out of NZ over there. He's a city kickboxing boy.
I think he probably gets the like.
Look, especially, I mean, yeah, heavy favorite, but I reckon it's a decent bet to put down. Like, he's fucking...
Yeah.
You got to realize, I think, whenever these fights are happening in Australasia, in this region, the UFC's not stupid with their matchmaking. They're not gonna bring out fucking world beaters to beat the local boys out there. These guys are all gonna have tough fights, but if you're trying to grow a region, the worst thing you're going to do is bring out a bunch of fucking Dagestani murderers to just kill these guys. And then all of a sudden Australasia has no fighters anymore.
Yeah, no one to get a buzz behind.
Yeah.
Then you got Cal Potter. Cal Potter's one of the nicest dudes in MMA.
Cal Potter, he's he's over there at...
He trains out of Resilience, and he's obviously from Renegades, his gym, but everyone sort of gets together and trains at Resilience, and we train with him a lot over the years. He's a great dude. And to be honest, like, he just is the best, I reckon, at finding a way to win. Even the last UFC fight, he did that. He's scrappy, and he's got dangerous jiu-jitsu.
He's a legit black belt, yeah?
He's a very good black belt, yeah. So, and he's probably got, I don't know how many head kick knockouts. And I don't mean this disrespectful. Some of the ugliest head kick knockouts you've ever seen. But he works, done, and he works, and he can be. And he's also tough as fuck, got a really good chin, and he's durable. Like a lot of the guys from Resilience, they do a lot of tough rounds, and they just
those guys
put it through. So, I mean, Cal's like a big underdog there, but I definitely would not write Cal off.
I reckon that you kind of hit the nail a bit there. That guys coming out of that Resilience gym, like, there's one thing that you know that they're going to be out of there. Those cunts are all fucking tough, man.
Yeah.
Because those boys, like, I mean, we've been over there a couple times. Those dudes don't fuck around when it comes to training. Yeah. It's like, we're in a fight. Like, I remember stopping. I was like, yo, are we getting paid today? Or like, what the fuck is going on over here? Why are you hitting me so hard?
So look, they do.
Thanks, Jimmy.
I love that where he's up next. So we got, and then we know one of the boys, Jake Matthews.
And you know, Emil Meek. I trained with him quite a bit. He was out at American Top Team for a while. He's at Extreme Couture now, which is proven to be a pretty not up and coming. They're a pretty stable of a camp now. Yeah. I rate Meek pretty high. I think it's actually an interesting fight. I can't read Australian odds, so I don't know what that means.
So
He's
it means
the dog.
Jake Matthews is quite
quite favored.
Just be short favourite. Look, I think Jake's pretty good everywhere.
Yeah,
Jake's
Jake,
one of the
I rate Jake. He was,
really clean stand-up, pretty good wrestling, good
he's
black
a
belt.
big, strong welterweight too, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe he made 55, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he only had like 2 or 3 fights at welter.
Yeah, but I mean, like when we were going the other week, I was like,
the
all right,
second
bro.
heaviest welterweight in Australia.
Yeah, because Lyle weighs as much as I do. But no, look, if we're talking just gambling, it might not hurt. No offense, Jakey. I'm talking just money here. It might not hurt to put a small bet down on me, especially if you want to do a
Looking
little
at
parlay.
for everyone watching. We're actually looking at the odds. So Jake's $1.40 and $2.90. I think we might have a betting section of the week if someone wants to sponsor it.
Yeah,
we'll
right?
sell that for anything. Yeah.
And then the next one. This is a fucking interesting fight. Loma Lukemund, the first Thai national to be signed to the UFC, fighting a short notice Angela Hill.
Yeah.
Angela Hill just fought recently. I think it was maybe 2-3 shows back. And then Loma's opponent pulled out. So Angela stepped up to fight. Hats off to her. That girl has been active as hell. I think she had something like 7 fights last year, something wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just fucking active as hell. But the thing on this fight is Angela fancies herself a Muay Thai specialist.
Yeah.
And Loma is a Muay Thai specialist.
Yeah.
Like, you can say what you want about the ties and everything, but look, this girl is before she transitioned to MMA, she was a legit top level, world level Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's got some of the best use of, like, you know when you say guys like, oh, he's got good foot sweeps, got a good clinch game. It's like, nah, that's really not true. It's just nobody knows what they're doing in MMA. Loma is actually highly effective at it at the Thai level. And I feel like if Angela comes out and tries to get into a Thai boxing match with her, it's going to be a long night for her.
Yeah, yeah. And Loma's like pretty big.
Big
underdog.
dog. So
I think she matches that well against like Angela.
I reckon she does.
Unless Angela, I don't know how good Angela Hill's grappling is. That's obviously, you wouldn't want to put like Loma against a killer wrestler.
No, God, no, not yet.
But
that's for me. That's a Loma. I'm taking that one at that money, especially. I'm putting that down there.
Yeah. So the next couple, I don't actually know much about.
Kevin Aguilar and Zaburia. I know Zaburia gets around with Merbeck and Champ. Khabib. Thank you. Sorry, Jake's brain quits working sometimes due to the punches of the dome. So he's definitely your typical Chechen over there. Tough, good wrestling.
Yeah.
That's all I really know.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you to make a bet on that one, guys.
And Brad up in the next one against Magomed Mustafa.
Brad Riddell against a tough Magomed Mustayev.
Yeah, I think I was looking sort of, I don't know that much about him, but obviously he had a bit of a break after he lost to Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
And then, and he's had 15 fights for 15 finishes.
Yeah.
So 11 by knockout and 4, and he's knocked out some decent strikers.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Brad is got to be one of the best strikers in MMA.
I would say, Brad's pure striking for MMA, pure striking wise, Brad's probably one of the better guys there is out there. It's just a matter of if Brad can start to adjust his game a bit more for what's effective in MMA, what's effective with small gloves on.
Yeah.
But again, he's a city kickboxing product. They've got a great mind running that gym over there. Eugene is the guy. The guy is fucking legit, Mr. Wizard. He's taking a small gym in New Zealand to fucking global status. So good on him there. I'm a little bit biased on this one, but it's pretty short money, but I'm gonna take Brad on that one.
Well, Brad's still underdog on the money, but I think Brad, as well. And then so obviously got Ben Sassoli versus
Lima, Marcos Rogerio de Lima. This dude was a former light heavyweight, couldn't make weight because he's a massive man.
Yep.
When I was training with him and I found out he was fighting at 93 kgs, I could not wrap my brain around it because he's 6'4" and just built, he's just huge.
Yeah. Looks
like an offensive lineman in the NFL. But he's just a Muay Thai wrecking machine. Little to no gas tank on him though.
Yep.
Strong as an ox.
I mean, Ben's not fit, but he's got that sort of pace. You know, that they can.
He can play.
I shouldn't say Ben's not fit, but
Ben's not fit.
He doesn't look like he does lots of Ks.
He's not. Neither one of these guys.
But you saw Ben with the Greg Hardy fight. Definitely won the last round. Finished a lot stronger. And Ben, he's just like Ben hits like a truck. He'll hang in there like. Obviously, Ben copped a lot of leg kicks against Hardy, so you're going to think that
you'd hope with this upcoming fight that he might have adjusted some things.
Yeah, so because obviously De Lima will come after his
gonna come chopping legs. Now that being said, Ben hits like a goddamn truck, and if Ben puts fist on shin, it's a short night. And that's the thing with the traditional Muay Thai stylist. There's not a lot of head movement involved. Yeah. So if Rogerio doesn't bring his head offline, there's every chance that Ben can fucking crack him and make it a big night for him.
Yeah.
For me, that's a pick 'em, man. I don't fucking.
Yeah, it's a bit like heavyweights in general.
Yeah, it's
like,
fucking
2 heavyweight strikers. Someone's probably gonna.
Yeah,
sleep.
someone's
And
gonna go night-night.
And Ben, I don't think I've ever seen Ben get slept. So I don't think Ben.
Ben got a dome on him.
Yeah, so Ben
that
can take
big old
a shot.
solar
And
head,
even
man.
because even when Calvin on Hex, like
Yeah.
Ben copped some big shots and then just counted and slept and then
Yeah.
almost killed that Calvin guy. I think. Were you there for that fight?
I think I was there. I might have left before it happened.
But yeah, he dropped Calvin and then pretty much Calvin was unconscious on the ground. The ref was still like, finish him. And Ben was like, he's like dead already. and then still made him like hit 2 more. Actually, I won't say the ref.
God bless
it's normally a ref that
officiating
actually stops reasonably quickly. But I was like, the guy was in like Neverland already and just.
Then there's Jan Jiang. I'm gonna go with that's a Chinese national, and Carolina, the little Polish killer. I rate her pretty high. She at least leading into that fight when she fought Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Yeah.
she was on a tear, man.
I think she was undefeated.
She was
going into that.
beating girls' asses. I was about to say that differently, but I mean she was fucking girls up, and then just I don't know. Since then, she's been on a bit of a slide, but I mean she's still got it in the tank there.
I mean, she took it to like Rose Namajunas and everyone in that division.
She
All
was
the killers in that division.
She was putting it on him.
Yeah.
Putting it on him. And I'm reading Aussie odds again. She's a dog on that one, yeah?
Oh, big underdog.
Big dog. I'm taking that one then.
Yeah,
'Cause
$3 bucks is good.
I rate her.
Yeah.
So what is that? That's 3-1 then? That's how they play.
Yeah, you put on $1, you get
3?
$3.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm taking that bet all day then.
Yeah.
100%.
We'll run some multis.
Yeah, we'll get some parlays going here. Yeah. And then after that one, we've got in the co-main event, shout out to Jimmy Crute.
Yeah.
Big co-main event on a major card out here. That's big for him. Fighting a Polish Mikhail Oakley. That's just peanut butter in your mouth. Look, man, Jimmy's tough as shit. I've trained with that dude a couple times now.
Yeah.
I've yet to see an Australian that can take me down outside of Jimmy Crute, so shout out to him. Shut up, Simon.
You trying to sell more wrestling seminars?
Hey, my wrestling seminar went great. Thank you to everyone who came. Goddamn Olympian. But yo, Jimmy and Mikhail, I would honestly be talking out my ass if I said I knew much about Mikhail. I don't.
Yeah, neither do I. Look, I know Jimmy's pretty good ever, and Jimmy's been displaying a lot of his striking stuff.
Yeah.
But fuck, Jimmy is a very good grappler.
Thing, man, you get Jimmy on top of you, and it's a long day, man. I mean, you saw it in that Misha Sikrovic fight.
Yeah.
Like
that was back and forth.
If Jimmy would have fucking just slowed down and not been a 24-year-old there for a little while, that's a very different fight.
Yeah. He was actually definitely sort of owning for a period of time and just got excited.
He got excited.
Yeah.
And I mean, we kind of said it when we had Jimmy in here. I reckon if you put that fight with an older, wiser Jimmy, that's a very different fight. He just did some shit in that fight that was like, I'm not used to being here yet. I don't got enough. And granted, Jimmy's very good and he's experienced, but like some shit you don't get until you get a little bit older. Like something's like just a little bit of pacing. Like fucking take a deep breath. You're still gonna be able to hit him, man. Just take a breath first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then where are you taking on that one? I'm just gonna go with Jimmy. I'm not
It's more. Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Because I know he's good and I don't know the other guy.
Don't know shit about the other guy.
He's beating me up. The other guy hasn't.
Then in the main event, I find this to be a very interesting fight. Dan the Hangman Hooker, Paul Felder. What do you think there, man? That's an interesting one for me.
Yeah, they're both good strikers, but completely different styles.
Completely different styles of striking.
Yeah.
Different body types.
Yeah, like so Dan's obviously going to be long and keep distance and pick his strike. And Felder's going to try rush and close the distance hit. So I don't know. I think if Dan gets it on his term and it stays outside and keeps moving and catches him on the way in, then Dan wins.
Dan, the one thing I will never, like Paul's a very good striker, but something that Dan has that I don't feel like you can really teach or rate is he has an incredible ability to time ending shots. He can time guys with those knees. He can time guys with elbows coming in. Times guys with those straights coming in. His timing of finding the interrupters when a guy's opening up and trying to find something is truly, it's second to none that I've seen in MMA. He every time I watch Dan fight, it really does. Like, it makes me stop and be like, God damn, that boy can time some shit. I mean, those knees on Ross Pearson and some of the other things he's done, it is amazing.
And he's pretty much done that for everyone apart from the one.
Apart from that Edson Barbosa fight.
Yeah, and that was where he got his. Yeah.
And that's
but that also showed how fucking tough that, like, Danny's.
No, Dan's tough as shit. I mean, Edson's got bodies on his fucking shits for sure. Like, he killed Terry Edom. I'm pretty sure that dude's still dead. that was the most frightening kick knockout I've ever seen in my life.
That was
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that was the spinning heel kick one.
Yeah. So for the first spinning heel kick in the UFC, we probably can't pull it up because it's UFC shit. But if you guys have a chance, Google Edson Barbosa versus Terry Edom, and like, I mean, if you're weak to the stomach, it's a bad one. Like that dude goes out. Anyway, as far as it goes with Paul Felder, Paul's a very good kickboxer as well, but he's a bit more of a I honestly think it's a good fight for Dan. I think Paul's going to try to push the pace. Yeah. And I think if Dan cannot get bullied because of the size difference, Dan will be able to pick him.
Because Jason Sargo, who didn't fought Paul Felder as well. And even Jason's striking is definitely not his strength, but he wasn't completely...
You're not outgunned.
Yeah. And he sort of had finished with Paul's back, and I think he lost a split decision.
Yeah, he did lose a split.
Yeah.
So on that one, I don't know on that one. What do you think?
Oh, look, I think Dan, like, if Dan gets to keep on his terms, and he's pretty good at doing that, and Paul doesn't have that sort of, like, explosive, like...
He's got that one-shot kill.
That Barbosa...
Right, yeah.
Look, I think it's probably the speed thing, because Felder's not that quick, is he?
I don't know. He's good. He's very technically sound.
Yeah.
Very technically sound. I mean, look, the thing is, at the end of the day, you can't take out a guy, you can't discount a guy who's been at Duke Rufus for as long as he's been. He's gonna have Duke in his corner. Those guys are all fucking legit strikers up there. So nothing that's coming out of city kickboxing, is going to be anything that the guys up at Rufus Sport haven't seen. So there's nothing hidden there. So I mean, at the end of the day, I hope for everyone's sake that it comes down to being a stand-up, to being a kickboxing match in small gloves. I feel like maybe if I was cornering, I would try to make it not that.
Yeah, you mean if you're on Felder's side?
If I'm on Felder's side, I'm probably saying put him on his back.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, and the city kickboxing guys are good at not being on their back.
Real good at it.
Yeah, and that's all the stuff they do is wall.
And Dan is getting up. Yeah, and Dan is very, very good at that city kickboxing, that long lead hand angle. Dan is one of the few guys I've actually found that to be effective with. Yeah. So if Dan can keep Felder at range and allow him to using that long lead hand when Paul goes to make his move inside to close distance, and that's when Dan can pick his shot. And he's so good at shutting the lights out when he gets you coming in. Yeah. I'm going to go hooker on that one.
Yeah, same. Boom.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Talk about, so obviously just on the local scene with sort of absolute stuff. So I had, shout out to Chris Wace fought on the weekend for the Legion belt down in Tassie.
Down in Tassie, mate. How was Tassie, Simon? Tell us all about Tassie, mate.
Yeah, it was actually, look, they're nice guys down there and whatever else. There wasn't, obviously we went down with Beck last time. There was a lot of fighting in the car park and a lot of contention on the decision. So it all was a bit smoother this time because we lost. So they took that a lot better. But look, shout out to Chris. It was a war of a fight. He broke his hand in the first round, so he's actually already cast up. Might have to have surgery on it. But he, I kept screaming at him, throw the cross because the guy's really good.
Throw your right hand.
And he was like, come to the chair and was like, it's broken. Stop yelling that. Yeah. But look, he soldiered on, like, I'll be honest, and a shout out to Sean Etchell who won. I think he had the worst looking, like, chopped up leg because we were going. So Sean trains at a boxing gym, so he's a little bit side on in his stance. Beck had some success with the leg kick, so it was like, if he stands side on, chop that tree. And he did. And Chris would have kicked him 20, 30 times. And his leg was purple and black. And Sean, to be honest, it looked horrible. And there was only probably one or two where he actually went, you could see. Yeah. But he fought through and it was really tough to do that.
You showed me the photos of it. I mean, it was Faber Aldo-esque, the color of that fucking leg.
It was already purple by round two. And Chris would have kicked another 20 times. Obviously went to the grappling a little bit more and tried to get it done because his hand was pretty jacked. And then, look, Chris, as I said, got to the end of the fourth round with it. It was actually double-led, got on top, just a little bit rushed to take the back, slid off the top, ended up on the bottom, got mounted, turned his back, and he ended up getting choked. Yeah. But he was sort of inches away from being the guy the guy on top, but just that
just
rushing.
Small little switches.
But look, you can't be, obviously, I hate losing the pro fights in particular, but you can't be disappointed with Chris.
No, I mean, a guy fighting through 4 rounds with a busted hand, I mean, hats off to that. That's stuff. And you're in hostile territory.
Yeah. Look, it was definitely I don't know. It's the most parochial, one-sided
Yeah.
Like, crowd. Even walking home, because I still have my absolute t-shirt in the car park, and there's like the guys in my face going, Buzzsaw. 'Cause that's his nickname. Buzzsaw. Like, and I was like, oh, I want to punch this guy.
Tazzy sounds amazing.
Yeah. And I'd literally gone back by myself with the bag, and there was like 6 or 8 of them. And I was like, oh, shit. Probably shouldn't try it.
Oh, man. So, look, the last thing we got to close out with, we're doing Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. The second fight is coming up next weekend also. The first fight was, it ended in a draw, correct? That's what we came out on that one. It was an interesting fight.
Yeah, Tyson like basically owned most of the fight.
Then got slept and then came back and
From the dead.
From the dead. I mean, straight up Undertaker, WrestleMania, eyes open, shoot straight up.
For the first like 4 seconds of hitting the floor, he was snoring.
Yeah.
He was
dead.
legit snoring.
He hit him with that goddamn Thanos snap. But I mean, but and this is the thing people don't talk about enough. After Fury got up from that, it's not that he just got back up and the round ended. Fury got back up and won the fucking rest of the round. I don't care what anybody says. He came out and went to boxing. And look, Tyson Fury is a lot of things. He likes to talk. He likes to sing. Talks a lot of shit. The man's crazy. But you know what? For a man his size, not even for a man his size, that man can box.
Yeah.
He has got footwork. He has got a good understanding of range, which he has heaps of because he's 6'9", 6'11", whatever he is.
Yeah.
But the thing with Deontay Wilder is, and we saw it in their first fight, we saw it in Wilder's last fight, Wilder can be down on the cards, and then all it takes with Wilder is,
Yeah.
and it's fucking done. And he's gotten to a thing now, I saw in his last fight with Castro, he doesn't throw these loopy-ass silly punches anymore. He threw a straight punch down the pipe in his last fight, and it's a scary scene to see Deontay Wilder actually throwing proper punches.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting fight. What are you guys picking on it?
I think Fury probably. Like, again, it's that thing. I think you'll definitely outbox and outpoint him if it goes the distance.
Yeah.
It's Fury. But, yeah, Wilder can catch him at any
He can't
time.
catch him, but you know what? Fury's come out in the media and said he's very confident in his chin because he's been eating a lot of pussy.
Yeah,
So
that's an interesting...
I mean, different training modalities for different folks. I'm with you, Tyson. Boy.
Whatever gets it done.
Hey man, whatever gets the job done. But look, man, I mean, it's about even money across the board on it. I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight. I think, and I hope that Tyson wins it.
Yeah.
But I really feel like it's hard to bet against Deontay Wilder these days because that man he's got dynamite. He's got kryptonite in his hand.
It's actually also good, though, in boxing to actually go into, like, a big fight not knowing who it is. Because, unfortunately, with boxing...
How often does it happen, bro?
Fuck, it's not very often
Never.
that you go in, like, to fights going...
Yeah.
They're the worst mismatched things most of the times.
And like even when you got two guys with great records in boxing, you can have 2 undefeated records, but boxing makes no qualms on who's the A side and who's the B side.
Yeah,
they'll be like, no, it's this guy's promotion. This guy's gonna win the fight.
Yeah.
So like, and I think fucking, especially if you're into gambling and shit, it's almost like, what do you expect us to do here?
Yeah, yeah. Whereas this is one where I'm like, yeah, you really don't know. Like,
all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Wilder, Fury.
I think I would put money on Fury just because I like him. But it's a hard one because he's also left his coach.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because his coach was like, he was 26 years old, his previous coach. And that was his second fight back after getting up to like, 400 pounds.
Yeah, about losing his goddamn mind.
Like, he claims he wasn't fit for that fight. So is he fit now or has he gone to a better coach now? Like, I don't know who his coach is now. Apparently he's got a pretty decent coach now. But like, is it a step up or is it a step down? Because at least his previous coach is familiar with him.
Right.
He's got to a new coach for this fight. Hopefully he's coming in a bit fitter. He looked weird in his last fight as well.
He looked a bit sloppy,
He had that massive cut as well.
Yeah.
Apparently he needed some like 20-something stitches in that eye.
Fuck.
That,
because he fought that big German kid. Yeah,
yeah, and he got cut like earlier on in the fight.
So we watched that together, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That was one of those weird ones where they both have had kind of warm-up fights in between their last 2 fights. Yeah. And Deontay came out and did his thing, but Tyson got himself into a dogfight in that what was meant to be a warm-up. He ended up with a stitch. And I remember watching it and saying, look, if this wasn't a Tyson Fury fight, the other guy won. Yeah. Like if you look at it, I think subjectively, Fury might not have won that fight. And that's the one that he dropped his coach on, yeah?
Just afterwards.
Just after that fight, right.
So for this fight, he's got a new coach. So we'll see how it goes. But I mean, then again, it's like, he's definitely the better boxer.
Yeah.
But Deontay Wilder.
Wilder's not a great
Deontay
boxer.
Wilder only needs to win 1 second of 12 rounds.
Yeah.
He just needs 1 second.
He needs one punch.
He
Which
can
is
lose the
frightening
whole
if you think
fight.
about it.
He can
And
lose
how-
the whole fight and just win 1 second.
How
And
big
he
of a
wins the
nightmare would
fight.
that be to coach too? Like, I don't give a shit. I just got to hit him once.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, it is true. The dude's got fucking 40 knockouts in 42 fights.
Yeah.
That is insane. That is insane. I don't think that's ever happened. No, it's like, even if people talk about Tyson and shit, Tyson wasn't on that level.
No.
No. Who you taking?
Fury, I think. Just.
Fury.
I think we've done this, haven't we? Have we done this? Yeah. I feel, yeah.
Fury, me.
We'll see
Fuck.
this weekend.
We'll do it this weekend. Guys, once again, this has been absolutely unnecessary. We got anything going on at the gym?
Look, there's just more fights, guys. Sunshine Coast this weekend. Lisa and Jakey Savic.
Nice.
And then,
This is not her pro fight.
nah, she's got this one more. We did have Will, but Will had to pull up with some family stuff. Then we got Perth, Luke and Corey, and then we got a big weekend in Eternal, the following Gold Coast Eternal. Jack Jenkins fighting Diego Piera for the belt, and I think 3 or 4 others on the card.
Nice.
Nick and
Going to be
a few
busy
others.
days around
And
Absolute.
then
Then we got Big Lyle
Off to
coming
Africa.
to be the king of Africa.
yeah, there we go.
Lyle, thanks for coming in, guys. Again,
Thank you.
absolutely unnecessary. I'm Jake for Simon. Peace.
Thanks, Lyle.
Fucking hell. I like it better when I'm drinking.